some positions, cowardice asks the question, is it safe? Expediency asks the question, is it politic? Vanity asks the question, is it popular? But conscience asks the question, is it right? And there comes a time when one must take a position that is neither safe, nor politic, nor popular, but he must do it because conscience tells him it is right. And that is where I stand today, and that is where I hope you will continue to stand, so that we can speed up the day when justice will roll down like waters all over the world, and righteousness like a mighty stream. And we will speed up the day when men will beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks, and nations will not rise up against nations, neither will they study war anymore. And I close by saying, as we sing it in the old Negro spiritual, I ain't gonna study war no more.
Village are in bad shape. Okay, we're here today, and I'm going to tell you, we're at the bottom. If the board does not take action today, it's going to be too late to do anything in the future. It's just as plain and simple as that. We've been able to piece things together for 2 or 3 years. Sell a one-year bond every year to get some money in the village to pay some items off. But right now, I mean, if you get too far behind on the scavenger bills, the garbage is going to pile up in the streets. If you get too far behind in your paramedic bills, there's not going to be any paramedics to answer the calls for emergencies. You won't be able to pay your employees. It's the end of the line, and I don't know how to say it other than that. And even worse, there's been legislation which was passed about 3 years ago, 4 years ago at the state level, which provides that if you do not provide proper funding for your pension funds, the pension funds can now file in Springfield to take your revenues, your sales tax and your income tax, before it even gets to the village. Every year, you're going to have to raise your real estate tax bill by about 4.9%, which is going to equivalent to about a 1% increase in the whole tax bill, just to keep going and to survive. Continues like it's doing now. Eventually, there are no choices. The state will take you over, and then from there, who knows what's going to happen.
look at me when I'm talking to you. Please. Don't act like you don't ignore me. Because I have a lot to tell about you. And you know, we used to sit in your room, in your house, and you know how you came against you, Muhammad. Why are you in the bed with Pearson? Mama, what's the outcome? What did you tell me? What did you tell me? I asked you about BP Capital. Why would you take an organization out? Because you said they were ran by who? Forgive my language. Racist slurs against the ethnical group that they need to get out of here because they're doing nothing. And I told you they do more for me than any of you. But yet, I want to know. BP Capital. Didn't, trustee, I love you. I came to you from my heart, sweetie, when we got out here for you and pushed my tail off of y'all and prayed that y'all would do the right thing. And you sit up here. You the angel of this book. I didn't hold nothing against you, but you sit up here. And you know that woman dirty. I used to listen to her talk about Joyce Myers, the Bible, all that. Trustee Denton, I just want the truth here tonight. I'm coming as a resident and I'm coming as a homeowner. I have nothing else to say but the truth. I always talk help, but I'm sick of it. Because we pouring our souls out here. We giving our all. And y'all sitting up here playing with us like it's nothing. You letting that woman tell you, say it's okay. Don't you do this. Don't you do that. And you sit in the back zone. That woman don't run nobody. She stepped out her body and she's not acting right. I just want to know one thing. If you're giving BP Capital 600 houses and we in $1 million deficit, right? Let's just say we charge what? Let's just say we charge $2,000 per house. Ain't that a good investment for anybody? $2,000, $4,000. That gives us $1.5 million that we just say we'll give it away, or we'll pay trustees, or we'll pay their lawyers. You know what, y'all? It's a shame, but ain't nothing we can do. That's why you can sit up there, Muhammad, so cool, so relaxed, bro. It ain't nothing we can do. We messed up. We trusted you. I messed up. But I won't do it again. But I can tell you what, y'all all live in Dalton, right? I have 20 people outside of your house every day protesting until you leave this land.
There's an issue that we need to go into executive session for shortly. Okay. Good.
Okay, good afternoon, residents and trustee board and mayor. Okay, I'm confused here. Is Invest in Dalton and BP Capital the same thing, or are they different entities?
The gentleman just stated that there are two different entities, two separate.
So is he in charge of both? Paid the $30,000 too.
We paid it to the attorney Bass.
Okay.
For Invest in Dalton, we've talked about this for the 6 houses that we are able to raffle off, hopefully real soon, next month.
So who has the 6 houses? We have the 6 houses?
Yes, we have 4 of those titles. We're waiting on 2 more, and then we could have a raffle.
So all that money is coming to Dalton?
It's what money?
You said we got 6 houses.
We have 4 houses.
We got 4 houses.
We have 4 houses with Invest in Dalton. Okay. Right now, we're waiting on 2 other houses, so we'll have a total of 6. That was the $30,000. That's Invest in Dalton. I'll give you a flyer so you can come to our event on the 14th, and that's going to cost $40,000. The Invest in Dalton, the 6 houses, $40,000. BP Capital have his own money to rehab the houses.
So
we
BP Capital working with Invest in Dalton. Is that what's going on, or how did they even?
I just explained it to you. Thank you.
You know what? That was totally uncalled for, because see, I'm trying to get an understanding.
Yes, ma'am.
We put you in there, and we will take. You know what? That's right. That was totally uncalled for. That was totally. I have never disrespected.
I'm sorry.
You know what, people? This is citizens address. We need to. You know what? We need to take our village over. Enough We need to have our voices heard without people getting ignorant with us and trying to belittle us and belittle our members. You know what?
This is what you do at every board
This is
meeting,
citizen.
and
This
you
is
ask me
citizen
a
address.
question, and I
And you know
answer
what?
it.
And you're
And you
supposed to
do it
answer
at
my
every
question.
board
And you are
meeting,
supposed to
and
answer my
you
question
sit
until I
up here
understand.
and
There's
you
no
insult
such thing
me
as a
at
stupid
every
question.
board
I'm done
meeting.
with you.
Thank you. Excuse me.
We paid to put you in that position. You know, you and I both have.
Hold on, we haven't got-
It's really up to you to listen to the residents, regardless of how right or wrong they may be. You don't have a right to speak to them in that tone of manner. We pay your
What
salary.
tone are you talking
We're
about?
talking about you.
What tone are you talking about? The same. What tone are you? In order to get respect, you must respect. So I give you all the same respect. Okay, that's what you say. I say different. I say different. Whatever God have for me, I still will work.
That's it. Order right now. We have another speaker, Mr.
I
Creighton.
will always bring God in my life.
Order.
Let me ask you this, Trustee Stubbs. Other than Aculite, what other companies have you looked towards instead of just jumping right over here?
I didn't just jump because I don't just jump. Okay. So I would appreciate it if you would stop using those terms, telling me
But
what
those
I'm
are the
doing.
terms. That's how
because
you approach.
that's not what
how
I
you
did.
approach the
I've been
situation.
doing this
You
since
just
July.
jumped on it.
No, I
You
didn't.
jumped
That's
on
your
it.
opinion.
My money pays
That's
your
your
salary.
opinion.
Okay.
You jumped
All
on
right.
it.
All right, ma'am.
We're liable for lawsuits. I went in there. Liquor was confiscated, as Trustee Muhammad and the general manager, Ishmael Muhammad, stated that alcohol wasn't there. It was there. I saw it.
Well, shame on this board.
And therefore, I'm asking today, not only do we not have any adult parties there, that we, Mayor, I'm pleading that you take Trustee Muhammad off of that committee. Off of that committee. Because if this is what we're displaying, then that's appalling to me and every other woman that go to Melanie Fitness Center.
Your name and how long have you been on the board?
You want me to answer that too?
Please say your name and how long you have been on the board.
Dwayne Muhammad. I've been on this board now for 3 years, going on 4.
Okay, the next
It'll
person.
be 4 in May.
Trustee Stubbs. I've been on this board and active in this community. I've been on the board for 3 going on 4 years.
Okay, so we have from 3 to 6 years almost.
Yes.
Did you vote for paying certain bills? Did you vote for certain budgets?
Yes.
So how about the rest of them? Tell me yes or no. Did you vote to pay certain bills and did you vote to approve certain budgets? I just want the people to answer who've been on the board for more than 3 years, 3 years or longer.
Yes.
Police officers. For 5 years, we have been tabling hiring police officers. In one respect, like Tiffany said, 2, we have lost, and you're not really replacing, you're replacing 2, so the money is already there. This board is divided. Whatever 4 of you want is what 4 of you get. You're not for us in the residents. We see this. Yeah. I don't know if you know we see this. And all these people that you say you knock on the doors and you go see and you talk to, I've never seen you. And I'm always all over Dalton. I've seen Tiffany. I've seen Tiffany. I see Mr. House. You guys just divide. I'm sorry if I'm boring you, Mr. Muhammad. You guys divide the city. You sit here and talk about politics. We need to do this. Sitting preaching this whole speech that Martin Luther King did. You and your compadres have separated Dalton. Yeah. You go to no function that's for the village. When the mayor gives a function, it's not for him personally. It's for us as residents. Okay, that's who he's for. You guys are for you, and you. Yeah. And that's it. None of you have ever went against one or the other. Your little committee, she's right. Residents need to be on that committee. not 3 people that's going to agree with it and decide, well, oh, I need this vote here, so I take care of your water bill. Okay? It needs to stop. You need to start getting your own voices and make your own decisions. And don't bring up ordinances that don't need to be brought up. Whenever something happened to you, you want an ordinance. Somebody play basketball, you want an ordinance. You don't like this, you want an ordinance. Come on now. You get on the mayor about spending money, but guess what? $30,000 you spend, the $75,000 that you spent, Muhammad, every time somebody asks about, you can't tell us what you did with the money. All this money, but when it comes to the mayor, but you can jump all over the mayor. And I'm not saying that what the mayor did is right, because if the water went up on him in Chicago, you should have came to the residents. That's what we put you there for, so we can help you out. We're not here so you can't pass something on, and then later on we get this big bill. Okay? That's why we here, Mayor. That's why we voted you in. We didn't vote you in for mayor. Had you not ran on the mayor's ticket, none of you would be here. But you get it on his ticket, you get in there, the first day that you was there, you stabbed him in the back. At the first, yeah, you were. I was at the inauguration. Don't go there with me. And I know anybody who was here at that inauguration saw it themselves. We are not crazy residents.
And we've reached the 3-minute mark.
Thank you, Mayor.
Next thing on the agenda is amending section, ordinance number 18-004, amending section 1-6-5 of the Dalton Village Code with respect to the recording and broadcast of meetings of the Board of Trustees. You get that ordinance? Can I get a motion?
I make a motion to approve ordinance number 18-004.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded by Trustee Denton to approve ordinance number 18-004, amending section 1-6-5 of the Dalton Village Code with respect to the recording and broadcast of meetings of the Board of Trustees. I don't want to read this section, the amending section. Section 1-65-5. Section 1-6-5 of the Dalton Village Code is hereby amended to add in subsection E to provide as following: recording and broadcast of village board meetings. All village board meetings shall be recorded by the Office of Communications and Public Affairs with both audio and video, shall be broadcast on any available public access channel and posted on the village website. Said recording shall not be edited, have any portion deleted, or tampered with in any manner whatsoever, and shall be destroyed only after approval of the Board of Trustees and in compliance with the Local Public Records Act. Section 1. Any person who violates this subsection E shall be subject to a fine of $750 and imprisonment. Go to jail for up to 6 months for each offense.
I'm a new resident of Dalton. I thank God through Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. Now, being a new resident, I found out that this program that you have, that they came to my house and they threatened to throw me out my house. They took
The
my
BP
house.
Capital Program.
Huh?
The BP Cap.
Yes.
Up here, Miss.
And they
Darcy.
said that if I didn't leave, they was going to call the police and put me out my own house. I'm going to court now to try to save my house because they wrote a lot of false allegations telling about my house is being, the roof is gone. It's a whole lot of things that's wrong with it. But yet I live there. And my background is that I'm a general contractor for 30 years. I know about houses and I know how to fix houses. I've been doing it for 30 years. But, you know, God has a way of fixing things. Yes. And the way he's going to fix this, if they take my house, I'm going to sue Dalton to get me a new house. Because all this stuff is false. And somebody signed false allegation and they put them in court for that lawyer to go tell the judge, but the judge can't see the house. But the lawyer have paperwork saying that something is wrong with your house. Well, there's nothing wrong with it. So I'm going through some things now, but I know God's going to fix it. And I don't think no one should have to go through this. First of all, if you're getting houses for Dalton, they should be for Dalton. You should be able to hire people in Dalton to do the work. Those jobs for Dalton. You should be able to hire the residents like I did in Chicago, teach them a trade, get them something to do, and then sell the house. And everybody is making something. But don't take people houses when they live in there. You know, this is wrong. But like I said, when one door closed, God opened another one. And I thank God for my new house if they take this one. I praise and thank you for listening to me.
Okay. Oh, how do I stop that one? Okay, can everybody hear me now? Can everybody hear me now? Yay! I'm heard. Thanks, Berg. Berg saved me. uh, okay. This is a Ask Me Anything live stream. So, Donna, Scott, Mouse, Dwayne, Berg, Francis, Lotus, my love. You can ask me anything on this live. Who am I? Where did I come from? So, I want to pull up, if I can, this warrant list and what people are playing. Thank you, Tracy. Merry Christmas, and Merry Christmas to everyone. So, let me try this. I'm new. I'm used to Zoom. So, let me try and see if I can bring up the warrant list. Share the screen. Let me share that screen. Okay. Can you hear me now still? Let me see. Did my voice go away? Yep. Oh, good. Loud and clear. Okay. So here we have the January 2023 warrant list. And this is why Dalton is in so much trouble. And this is why I can't believe Mayor Henyard has stolen all the money. Because you can clearly see in this warrant list every single year they take out bonds in the millions. Now, this warrant list, corporate bills, was $4,244,435.74. Ooh, and I think I have the wrong one up here, don't I? Yes, I do. I'm sorry. Let me try again. What the hell is the warrant list? I'm sorry. I'm trying, people. Every year, the village takes out bonds in the millions because they have junk status. And what does junk status mean? That means you have no credit. So you have got to pay exorbitant fees to try to get you any bonds. Maybe I can pull up one of my videos with the bonds on it. because I think I'm screwing up a little bit here, and I do apologize. Okay. Let me see. Sorry, everybody. First time for everything. Let me bring that up. Present your screen. Okay. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Like and subscribe. I always forget to say that. Okay. So here is the AP warrant list that Jason House recorded. And this is accurate. January 3rd. So we're going to go down and see what was approved. Okay. See if we can make it a little bigger. Thank you, Spag. I think that's all right. First time for everything, right? INS. That's a lease payment. $1,939.10. What I want to go through is Amazon. Henyard bought all this Amazon stuff. And I know it's someplace in here. Must be on an electronic warrant list. So add to the stage. Oh, you get to add to the stage. Okay. There I am. Well, I get this situated with these videos. Ask me questions. Tiff always says we have the money. Why not give it back to the people? How much money is actually left, though? No surplus. It's a deficit in Thornton Township and certainly in Dalton. Yes, Dalton is in a deficit. A huge deficit. The Lightfoot report states 6 million, right? If you believe that, I have property with a swamp, okay, that I can sell to you really cheap. It's not $6 million. You might want to double that or close to triple that. So when Tiffany says we have the money, Dalton has always been in financial deficits since 2023. And does the 6 million include the water bill? That's a good question, Scott, because in 2013, the bank accounts of Dalton were empty. Nothing. So they had to borrow from TIFs to pay payroll. And this is, from 2009, they have been getting bonds, 4 of them, for $1.4 million every single year. And everybody knows it. So the water bill was never paid. And in 2017, they did not pay the payments in the agreement. So Chicago sued Dalton in the amount of $11 million. And what people don't understand is that settlement is still going on today, and you can see it in the warrant list. And you cannot deny black and white. When you're produced with the evidence, it's all there. So, is there a surplus in Dalton? No. Of course not. Why? The question I have for today, okay, so we've gone back in time. The question I have for today is, why do the warrant lists, the agendas, any ordinances that will be discussed or passed is not in a packet on a table as residents walk into the meeting? That is transparency. So if somebody could ask me that question, why can't they do that? Anybody? Waiting. Nothing. So I'm gonna get up those bonds. I think that's on the I was looking at the AP warrant list, and I think they're on the yeah, Scott, why can't they be transparent? And that's the whole thing. Why? And I'm trying to track down those bonds in that warrant list. Gardus. Hello, Gardus. Welcome to my first live that I'm trying to navigate here. Why can't they be transparent? Why can't they produce this information to the residents? So, what questions do you have for me? Who am I? How do I know so much? Any questions? Crickets? Anybody? I don't know. We're still waiting. Conscious, do you want us using the link or post questions here? Yeah, post them here. Use the link. I don't know how to do that link. I posted the link, but I don't know how to bring you on. Berg must need help. I am on the link. Look at the bottom of your screen. Okay. Which screen? I'm in StreamYard, so let me see. Private chat. Is that it? I am here. Do you see me? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Gonna take me a minute. I'm very well versed in Zoom. So, Gertis, if Jason is giving you the warrant list, why would he give it to you? And are the numbers accurate? And that's a good question. Jason has given me 4 warrant lists. The rest I've gotten on my own. And it's very important to understand that people can get information that work in the background. And I don't have a team, but I know a lot of people. And yeah, I'm a damn rookie. I am. I'm a rookie at this StreamYard. But Jason House has provided me with 4 warrant lists. And it was a test. In my business, you do bait and catch. And what you do is put out little nuggets to see who bites. And then you just reel them in. But I did ask Jason. I emailed him. And I want to know, has any other residents emailed Jason House for warrant lists? And have they been denied? Can anybody answer me that? I don't know. You know, do the numbers add up? The thing with the electronic warrantless I don't like is they're 2 months late. And that's where the confusion comes in. Because at these meetings, they are reading electronic warrantless that are 2 months late. Now, the AP warrantless are right on track. They're for that specific day. Was I ever in politics? No. No. I joined the military and had a very good career. I can't tell you a lot about it, but I will tell you that I am a seasoned investigator with a top secret clearance. I have been in the Pentagon in the lower levels in which you cannot get in without having that type of level. Okay. I have been in meetings discussing Russia, discussing terrorists. I have investigated terrorists personally. This is nothing new to me, and I'm not tooting my own horn. But people want to know who I am, what my background is, and this is my background. Mouse toes, army brat. But these are things that are proven. I have medals, but this isn't about. This is about the residents of Dalton and Thornton Township and what is going on with the corruption. And if you think that the corruption is only on Henyard, you have another thought coming. And Dwayne, special ops. No, I wasn't special ops. Top secret, yes. I do have a top secret clearance. Even the president doesn't know. I'm not quite sure which president. There's been a lot of presidents during my time. Have I been trained on protecting the president? Yes. I have all of my documents proven. But if you think Tiffany is the only one here, you're totally wrong. And people want to ask, where's the FBI? What's taking the FBI so long? Okay, let's talk about the FBI. Okay. The FBI has a 98% conviction rate. They don't get that rate by just jumping in. And yes, I do know people in the FBI, the DOJ, and other places that I won't mention. And information is being given to these individuals. And they are being investigated, including the caucus that just went on. This doesn't mean I'm a Tiffany supporter, because when you do criminal investigations, you cannot give out this information. And I know everybody is eager. Well, what do you know? What do you know? What do you know? There's a lot. But there's also a lot of criminal things that are coming down the road. And it doesn't just include Henyard. And this is what people don't understand. But you have 5 or 6 people that are screaming and yelling to the top of their lungs. And you wonder why regular residents don't go to those meetings, because they don't want to be a part of it. Why would you include yourself in such a mess? So those are my credentials. Do I know people who are investigating? Yes, I do. And one person is Pam Bondi. Now, Pam Bondi, you can look her up. She is Trump's new AG. Homan was just in Chicago doing a speech on the immigrants who have been taking over by gunpoint apartments in Chicago. And nobody wants to talk about that. But you will see these people coming in, and they're not just going to stop at Chicago. They're coming into the suburbs. Okay? But you're not going to play your hand when there are criminal investigations going on. And that's just plain and simple. Investigators don't do that. But I can show you what people have done in the past. And what you have done in the past will show what you are going to do in the future and in the present. Like I said, the FBI walked into Dalton and went, "What the F?" Did they? Did the FBI walk into Dalton and say, "What the F"? See, this whole thing with the FBI going into the village hall, let's talk about that. Do you think they just kind of showed up and asked for various pieces of paper? Do you think the FBI was not investigating long before that and are just gathering information to further the case? Because the FBI knew full well before they went into Village Hall what they are looking for. And I can tell you this, everybody's phone has been recorded. You can't have text messages back and forth, trustees, mayor. You can't have them back and forth. Especially when you're an elected official. Those conversations, those telephone calls have been recorded, and all of those text messages back and forth have been recorded. And you want to talk about Tiffany Henyard locking out the village, right? Okay, I'm going to share this. And this comes from Critical Smoker. I'm doing my best. Present, share the screen. What do we got? Okay. Here we are. Okay. Let me see. Did it go there? Now I want you to watch this closely. Who is letting the people into the building? Who's there? Is it the police?
You going in, bro? Or you staying outside? You going in? Or you staying out?
I probably say, I mean, if they got room, I never want to take up room for somebody.
Absolutely. What up, God?
Okay. So you have all of these people standing outside. And who is letting the people in? Mary Avant, who does own a security company. Okay. Henyard has changed the locks on the door. She did. She kept the people out of that building. And that is wrong. That is the people's building. And let me tell you something else about Mayor Supervisor Henyard. You are an elected official. When somebody gets up at that podium, you damn well better look at them. I don't care whether you like what they're saying to you or not. They are a resident. They can scream at you. They can yell at you. But you have to look at them and acknowledge them. Because when you don't do that, it is disrespectful and it is a lack of leadership. So, what do we want to talk about now? Have I seen any of the invoices on the warrant list for security companies owned by Mary Avant? I have not seen them yet, Scott. But I can tell you all of this evidence, and I'm just producing a very slim glimpse into the finances of Dalton and Thornton Township, because there are very big fish that are investigating this. What my channel is for the residents of Dalton. Can I give my email address here? Yes. Let me type it in. But again, when you're investigating a case, is this a RICO case? Because I'll tell you what, a lot of the people who are up there screaming do not want Tiffany Henyard to go to jail. That's why they're always screaming for her to step down. They don't want her going to jail because she's going to sing like a little bird. And they don't want that. you might say, oh, you're full of shit, whatever. I don't know. Can I say that on a live stream? I don't know. Trying to type this in. Rendick at gmail.com. Okay, there you go. There's my email address. Email me. Ask me anything. If you have proof of anything Henyard has done illegally, just don't say it in an email. Prove it. Black and white. That's what I deal with. Black and white. And I can tell you, I get a lot of emails from residents that break my heart. Because those are the people that matter. Do you think more of the investigation concentrates on Dalton or Thornton Township? Well, Gertis, it started in Dalton. But you see, the mistake that Dalton made was moving it into Thornton Township. And this comes in with who wants to be supervisor and trustees. And this is just not going to work. And this little Christmas thing that they did is just going to blow up in their faces. So yes, they are investigating both. Let me see. If she steps down, she can still go to jail, right? Yes. But what I'm saying is, if she goes to jail, a lot of other people are going to go to jail too. And they don't want that. They don't want it. Why was there a $5 million loan taken out in 2022 or 2023 for TT, Thornton Township? Well, is it 2022 or 2023? You see, with townships, any municipality, they take out bonds. They take out loans. It's a normal thing for a municipality. It's done constantly. I'm still mad about the toys in the food boxes. Yeah, you know, these food boxes, they were printed up, what, a year ago? So this food box thing, you're losing the battle with that. That was the biggest mistake that you could have ever made. It just makes you look bitter and hateful. You're not thinking about the kids or the families. I looked into that, and that was to cover operating expenses according to the audit. Yes, the audit. And, you know, the Thornton Township website is very transparent. You can look up any warrant list. You can look up any audit. You can look up the board meetings. Everything is on there. Was there any grants in Thornton Township? Yes, Thornton Township does get grants. Do you think Freeman was involved with hiding the ball about the Vegas trip? Keith Freeman, now, April 1st, they were calling for Keith Freeman to step down, to quit. Now, all of a sudden, they don't want to fire him. There's a reason for that. They don't want Keith Freeman speaking. And I'm talking about everybody. Okay, with Keith Freeman. Does Keith Freeman know about the Vegas trip? They all know about the Vegas trip. Every last one of them. Can we call Stubbs for that $15? Yeah. Stubbs. You want to call people destitute for taking food boxes. I'm sorry. A lot of people don't make six figures, but call you. You'll take them to the store. You'll pay their $15 tax fee. If they were already printed out, why were they invoiced now? Well, the invoices are attached to these warrantless. I think that's what you're talking about, Wyoming. Let me see. Who all went on the Vegas trip? I think that's been publicly declared. 8 people, I believe it was. Why do you have to take policemen? And let me ask you something that is something that I first looked into. When they discharged the allegations against Holmes, I don't like Andrew Holmes, I'm sorry. However, there is an abundance of hotel videos. There are cameras in the hallways, in the gaming sections, in the restaurants, everywhere you go. Okay? And a police officer stated he had video proving what Andrew Holmes did. I'm not going to sit on here and say Fania Dukes is lying. I'm not saying that. I think Fania Dukes was, I'm not going to say that. However, when you do an investigation again, you look at all the evidence. And where is that cop's video proving what Andrew Holmes did? And where are the videos of the hallway where he is carrying Ms. Dukes to the room? Those are questions I have. Okay, what am I missing? Plenty of money. There's money everywhere, and I'm gonna call Stubbs BP Stubbs, and that's being investigated as well. That was a dirty deal. That's all I can say on it. I cannot comment on investigations that are active. Every police officer worth his salt knows that. Okay. Why was the case dismissed? Can it be tried in Illinois? No, it cannot be tried in Illinois because it happened in Las Vegas. The case was investigated and it was unfounded. Okay? Now, Fania Dukes can bring civil charges. And she can bring civil charges against being fired. But that all has to be proven. The Airbnbs. Yes, there are Airbnbs in Dalton, and there is an ordinance against them. Jedediah Brown is supposed to be going back and forth to Vegas. Has he provided any proof of any of this? I deal with proof. and facts. You're not going to find anything on my channel without providing the documents. Instigate. It's a welfare township dependent on grants to pay bills. Well, a lot of the township, and Gertis can confirm this if I'm wrong, gets its money from taxes from all the municipalities within that township. And yes, they do get grants. Thornton Township is to provide programs. It is not a normal village of like Dalton is. They provide services to the public. And the insurance. Let's talk insurance. There is a lot of insurance. It's not an umbrella like they're trying to say. And you wonder why the buses are running. There's auto insurance. Has the auto insurance been paid? I'm trying to keep up with the questions. Yeah, I'm sorry, Dwayne. Somebody asked me about it. JB, I'm sorry. So I answered the question. Gertis, 75% of the revenue is from property taxes. As you know. Sorry, Dwayne. Somebody asked me about that. So I commented on it. Okay. Ask me anything. Here we go. Ask each other questions. This is my first live, so let me see. How could they tolerate Tiff and the Riley not paying their property taxes? Yeah. How can that go on? And how is it that some of the trustees are only paying $2,000 in property taxes? Ask that. Tiffany was not the only one blocking the door to let people in. Yeah, we just proved it with Mary Avant. And let's talk about tea with the trustees. And let's talk about the board meetings being put up on the Dalton website. They stopped in April of 2024. You don't see them anymore. The only reason we see these board meetings is because of people like Critical Smoker and Reality Check TV Chicago. So let's talk about that. Where's the media center? And the Dalton Park District board meetings. Why aren't we getting those? And why don't we see any of the, what do you call them? They had the department heads. Those are it. Why can't the residents see tea with the trustees? If it is a community gathering, you hear the trustees come out for tea with trustees. What if you're handicapped? What if you're elderly? You cannot see these. You cannot get there. Why can't you videotape? They're being videotaped. But why can't the residents see them? Simple questions. What's to hide? You see, when you're not showing stuff, you're hiding it. All of you. How did they tolerate Raleigh was not giving the firemen a contract? Right. And how did the trustees get a contract with the firemen? Did they do that all by themselves? Yes, Tammy Brown did help her boyfriend get water. And they use that water. There are trustees, old and new, that have helped out residents to pay their water bills or get it lowered for favors. And no, I'm not going to give names. Yeah, Mama Hill got kicked out of T-Bird Trustees because she was filming. What are you so afraid of? Well, I guess the reasoning behind that, they say, is because the residents are afraid of retribution from Tiffany. It is a public meeting. You have a quorum. I don't care what you call it. You can call it a community gathering, Jason House, because that's being investigated too. And we don't go to Illinois to investigate this. Let me make this clear. We don't go to Illinois because basically the whole state is corrupt. There's a few in there that's not. We go outside to where the real power is. And people don't seem to understand that. You think Illinois is the entire world. It's not. And it's time to step out of that bubble you're in and realize that people in Washington are looking at you. So, T with the trustees, I would suggest you start putting up videos about what's going on for the residents. Is there any job description for Leotis, physician with the township? Does he do anything at all? Leotis. Correct me on Leotis. Okay. How do the trustees get an office space at Free Indeed? How did that happen? This is the thing with elections, with the caucus, with the shenanigans going on with the elections. You remember Trump, and I know a lot of people don't like Trump. You remember what happened with Trump with the elections. But the Democrats are doing the same thing. But they think they're getting away with it because they're in Illinois and nobody can see them. I'm not quite sure. Election fraud is a very, very serious problem. That's all I'll say about that because that's under investigation. Now, welcome everybody. I'm so thrilled that people want to hear my old voice. Mama Love, Merry Christmas to you. I'm scrolling down the chat. I'm sorry it's going fast. Did Kamal ever have to give a report on any progress he is making with the youth? $100,000 job and no report at all. There is a report out there. Yes, there is. The thing I like is when people throw out stuff to see what sticks to the wall without any proof. I'm not talking to you, Crystal, or Dwayne, or anybody. Yes, Tea with the Trustees is subject to the Open Meetings Act, and they will have to answer for that. And there are people looking into that. So I suggest that they right that ship rapidly. Okay. Oh, Leotis is Kamal. Okay. Thank you. I forgot the question about him now, except for making reports, and yes. Yeah, Dwayne, I mean, they can say anything to anybody. They can swear, call people names, and go on and on. As soon as you call them a name, they're like a pack of wild dogs and, wolves. Allegedly, it's his job to try to intimidate those at the podium. Ain't no one scared of that old man. Yeah. Intimidation. Let me see. That's a different ball game, isn't it? Because when you have intimidation, that is clearly documented in videos. This is the thing about everybody having cameras out. Everything is documented. And people know what's being videoed. I'll put it that way. And what is not. So this is all evidence. And if you are intimidating someone or threatening someone, cameras are rolling everywhere. And I can tell you this. There are cameras in the Tea with Trustees, the Thornton Township meetings, and the Dalton meetings that have nothing to do with these municipalities. It has to do with the government. Okay. Allegedly, intimidation. Yeah, intimidation. What is wrong with you people? Which one is a nonprofit building, Karen? I'm not sure. Which building? No, Crystal, and you won't hear him give a report. And you don't hear any reports from any department heads, do you? Any in Thornton or the village anymore. So Kamal isn't giving reports. None of the department heads. Department heads are void of any meetings in Dalton, as far as I can see. Where'd they go? Scrolling down. Yes, people better watch out for the Republicans winning. And this is what happened in the presidential race. What was Kamala Harris doing? Trump bad, vote for us, with no plan. What is the plan? What is it? Because you just can't say Tiffany bad, we good. You have to have a plan moving forward. Put it out there. This is what we intend on doing our first day. The Republicans have. He's all show and no blow. Yeah. Let me see. Every one of these department heads should be giving a report at every board meeting. And I can't stress enough, the agenda, the warrant lists, and any ordinances that will be discussed or voted upon should be ready at the door as the residents enter the meeting. That is called transparency. These elected officials have not gotten that yet, and I don't know why. Okay, scroll down. It's too messy at meetings, yeah, because you have just these screaming banshees that you can't hear anything that's being said anywhere. Gertis, just like I don't approve of what Tiffany is doing, I'm even more against Trump. But you are absolutely correct about the Democrats. Yes, and I'm using that as an example. People thought they were just going to walk into office, but they're learning this isn't the case. It doesn't happen like this. Yes, he did hurt Nate. Okay. Does anybody have the video on that? Does that anybody? I haven't seen it personally. I'd love to see it. If you could email it to me. Yeah, okay. Why did they call Kamal Leotis? I'm wondering. I don't get it. Oh, Dalton politics web. You can't say anything that it does not conform to what they're saying, or you'll be blocked. Well, that's certainly transparency, you know. Yes, Stan loves to talk. And what is Stan Brown's culpability in all of this? Do you think Stan Brown's just riding a bike? Let me ask that question. Let me see in the chat. Who thinks Stan Brown's just riding a bike? Anybody? Oh, I better catch up with the chats. I'm sorry. Yeah, no. Remember, Stan Brown sat on the board in 2013. 2016. Okay, Dwayne, come on, let's get on the TIF train with Keith, Michael, Letus. I gotta figure out what that is. What's Letus? And Krigley. Yeah. The Gang of Five. Illegal activities? Is there? I say that like that because possible. I'll say possible because I can't say yes. But you know what I mean. Well, yes, let's talk about the issue with Riley in 2021. Nobody seems to remember that Kiana and Tiffany cooked up this little deal where Kiana went after 11, I believe it was 11 people running for office in 2021. Kiana was running for trustee. So why did Kiana Belcher contest mayoral candidates? And according to attorney, they were seen entering together. Now they can't stand each other. Go figure. Yes, the awful four. BP Stubbs, BP Mohammed, BP Denton, and BP Pierce. But now, and Ed Steve, Trustee Stubbs fired you along with the board. Do you remember that? When you had just bought a home and you needed your insurance desperately, your medical insurance. Do you remember when that board took out the entire administration, including you, Ed Steve? And what did you say to them in those board meetings? I need this insurance, and you're just wiping me off the payroll. And you have a young family at the time. And now you're sticking with the people who wronged you. I don't understand it. Okay. Yeah, it is a long train. It is Mayor Supervisor Henyard a admirable leader? That is not a leader. She, I'm sorry. Do I think she has a good heart? Where concerns seniors and children. Is she using seniors and children? I don't know. But she cannot lead. A leader does not do this to the people who you swore an oath to. You don't treat people like that. Yeah, they were proud by doing that too, knocking all those people out of jobs. So what is Stubbs going to do if she gets into Thornton Township where there's a bigger bank? Let me see. Did we find out what the midnight meeting with the cop was about when House didn't want the body camera on? Well, let me tell you what. My suspicions is they did not bring in Jedediah. I'm sorry. I won't say his name. I'm sorry, Dwayne. Okay. I'm going to rephrase that because we're going to leave him out of this live. They didn't want their testimony to be on camera. These are elected officials. They could have done that interview in Village Hall. They selected to meet outside of Melanie's. And a lot of people got confused about that because Melanie's had that Dalton police sign lit up and said, well, they were at the police station. No, they weren't. They were at Melanie's. So why didn't they just give their statements at the Village Hall? To me, when you don't want to be filmed as an elected official, now victims of crime have that right not to be filmed, but you are an elected official. and not to be wanted to be recorded giving testimony about the chaos that happened on July 1st is very suspect to me. I feel bad for the voters. We'll have to vote the best of two evils. Well, there's a lot of candidates out there. There's going to be some write-ins. So it's just not Tiffany against trustees anymore. And the trustees are finding this out, and so is Tiffany. It's just not one side or the other. Other people are coming in. 50K for that sign, they said. These signs with Tiffany's image on it is just, I've never seen anything like it before in my life. It is disgraceful, arrogant, boastful. You are not the queen. When you come into board meetings, you need to come in on time, not making this grand entrance. This is what pisses people off. Why would you do things knowingly that tick people off? Yeah, they do need new blood on these boards. Jason House has been a trustee since 2017. He can tell you everything that's going on. Everything that has gone on in the past years. They know it. To say you don't know what is being spent is one of the sickest lies I've heard. And from all of them. We don't know what's going on. You know exactly what's going on. You have access to the banks, the accounts, everything, you know. So as far as transparency, if everyone wants transparency, this is what the residents want. If this is what they want, provide the agenda, the warrant lists, any ordinances that will be discussed or voted on in a packet, waiting for the residents upon arrival. Karen, I have a couple of years of warrant lists, and I haven't found $33,000 that was spent on January 5th yet. No. And most of the things on Amazon were office supplies. They like to play this little shock and awe thing, and, it doesn't really work. And I can't believe I've been talking for an hour and a half, but I have. So if there's nothing new, balance and ledgers of the Village Bank accounts, public information eligible. Yes. They know exactly what is in those bank accounts. And let me ask you something about checks before I get off of here. You have to have 2 signatures on each check, right? Okay. So if you only have 1 signature, why is the bank cashing it? That's my question. Who do you go after for cashing a $500,000 check? Should the bank, because it clearly says that there has to be 2 signatures. Why is the bank cashing the check? Conscious, can you try and find me under your screen for practice before you shut down? Okay. Berg, how do I do that? Under my screen. Berg. Oh, that's a solo layout. Okay. Add a new box. Oh dear Lord, cancel. Mouse toes, I'm trying. Berg says I have no idea. Isn't it hard when it's cash? Well, no, because it requires 2 signatures. On each check presented requires 2 signatures. Present. Can I present? Berg, how do you bring me up? Mouse toes, I've got you in the private, but dear Lord in heaven. Mouse toes, I'd love for you to come up. I should be able to add you. Okay, I'm sorry, mouse toes. Do I have no idea. Mouse toes says, don't worry about it. I will promise I will get to you on the next live stream. But I wanted to clear up some things, tell you who I am, tell you why I do what I do. It is for the residents. And I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful, happy holidays. I love all of you and the residents of Dalton and Thornton Township. I very much love you, and I will fight for you. Karen, I'm feeling all right. They put me on some more medicine, and there's no little heart attack that's gonna stop me. So I thank all of you and all of your prayers, all of your emails, and I think I'm gonna end it here. But Merry Christmas, and treat everybody with respect. Treat everybody the way you want to be treated. Keith Price. Okay, I guess that's it. And I hope you have a wonderful day with yours and yours. Okay, bye-bye.
Politicians, cowardice asks, the question, is it safe? Expediency asks, the question, is it politic? Vanity asks, the question, is it popular? But conscience asks, the question, is it right? And there comes a time when one must take a position that is neither safe, nor politic, nor popular, but he must do it because conscience tells him it is right. And that is where I stand today, and that is where I hope you will continue to stand, so that we can speed up the day when justice will roll down like waters all over the world, and righteousness like a mighty stream. And we will speed up the day when men will beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks, and nations will not rise up against nations, neither will they study war anymore. And I close by saying, as we sing it in the old Negro spiritual, I ain't gonna study war no more.